This homeowner's pool light stopped working. They called an electrician. The electrician told them $1,500. They went on Amazon and they found a DIY solution that only cost them 68 bucks and took 20 minutes. Let's get into it. I think the $1,500 included an upgrade that wasn't communicated to the homeowner properly. So let me explain. So for those who don't know, with this style pool light, this hole, some people call it a niche or a niche. I call it a niche, but maybe that's a New England thing. But that is not watertight. That fills with water. The only watertight part of this assembly is the actual light housing. So that fills with water, and there's a conduit that goes right out the back of it where the wire is over to a junction box. What the homeowner did was pull this up like you're supposed to and replace just the light bulb. But in that solution, that cord still has 120 volts in it and it's GFI protected. So this is that drawing. Here's the light. The wire goes up to a junction. We have to go up to a junction here because this conduit's filled with water. And you don't want this to be lower than the pool, then the pool would drain out of it. And then that goes to another conduit over to a GFI from the switch. So you have 120 volts the whole way, GFI protected. And what keeps us safe here is the GFI protection, the integrity of the insulation, and the watertight gasket, all working together to keep the 120 volts out of the water. So a newer pool would get this set up. A switch, 120 volts, transformer, 12 volts, straight to the light, and this is a watertight gasket here, and the pool water never gets into the pipe. The conduit does fill with water because it's underground, but that would be what we do, and now we have only 12 volts interacting with the water. And what I wanted to say in this video is there's no way a 12 volt light can fail, put 12 volts into the water, and electrocute somebody and kill them. But I think that's one step too far, because everything I've been trained, everything I can Google says a 12 volt shock cannot be lethal. But when I called the pool company manufacturer and said, do you guys make that claim that these lights cannot kill people? The tech support I talked to wouldn't make that claim. So there's got to be something I'm missing where somehow there's a 1 in a million shot that that light can do something that would kill people. My guess is somehow that maybe the transformer fails and puts out the wrong voltage and it's more than 12 volts. But when operating correctly at 12 volts, I don't see a way that could ever produce a lethal shock. But I can't say that. I'm admitting that that's overstepping the claim I should be making. But I will say having a 12 volt pool light is drastically safer than having a 120 volt pool light, without making the claim that the 12 volt light is perfectly safe or the code compliant 120 volt light is unsafe. So I think the $1,500 job that the electrician offered was the midpoint between the old and the new. It is a way that pool companies make that you upgrade a wet niche fixture to a 12 volt light. So what you end up with is a switch, 120 volts, transformer. Now it's 12 volts all the way to the light. And you end up with only 12 volts in the water. And pool codes change a lot, and I could be wrong, but on my house, I still put a GFI on here. But my understanding is when you have the transformer 12 volt light, you don't need a GFI in the circuit. I'm telling you, on my own pool, I did put a GFI here, but I've been explained that it doesn't do much. But there you go. So if you look on Amazon, this light with a 100-foot cord, not with the transformer though, it didn't come with the transformer, but this light with a 100-foot cord is anywhere from $600 to $1,000. So let's say it's $1,000 if you go the 600 light with the transformer kind of thing. That if this is $800 to $1,000 worth of parts, and it would take about an hour and a half for an electrician to do it. Do you think the $1,500 job is this middle upgrade, or do you think he was trying to make $1,500 to change a light bulb out for 20 minutes? And I think this is what he offered for $1,500, but didn't communicate it properly to the homeowner. All right, thank you very much. So I want to add a couple things to the end of this where I'm admitting that I'm willing to be wrong. Well, I am a master electrician with almost 30 years experience, and I've probably done only 6 to 10 pools because I live in Maine and pools aren't horribly popular. And all of those 6 to 10, except for one, were done prior to 2012. The only one I've done since 2012 is my own. So if some legitimate guy that does 15 pools a year shows up and says, this is what you misunderstood, or this, you don't know this code reference, I'm open. I'm open to hearing from somebody that knows more about pools than me about something I might have missed. But please, if you're going to say something about code, give the code reference. I'm not going to just take you, say, because I said so, and now it's code I believe. If you can't give me the code reference where I can read it with my own eyes, I'm not going to believe it. All right. Thank you very much.